Americorps State Formula Grant Competition Application Process. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to our Grant Applicants Technical Assistance Session Workshop. I am Jessie Chavez. With me, I have my National Service Officer, Tracy Rollins Johnson, and my colleague, Eliana Duran. This webinar is being recorded and uploaded to ServeDC's YouTube channel. If you have any questions at any point during this presentation, please feel free to email us at americorps@dc.gov. Session objectives. What AmeriCorps programs do? Who are AmeriCorps members? Member terminology, application and review process, best practices in developing performance measures, best practices in demonstrating evidence, best practices in budget development, submitting your application in e-grants, we're moving to Zoom grants, prohibited activities, process and deadlines, and resources. What AmeriCorps programs do. AmeriCorps members tutor and mentor youth, clean parks and streams, and they build affordable housing. Who are AmeriCorps members? Individuals enrolled for specific terms of service with an AmeriCorps program. Members are not volunteers or employees. Some members receive a living allowance, health insurance, and child care assistance. AmeriCorps members receive the Siegel Education Award upon completing a term of service. Members have a contract with the program. Members must be supervised. Members receive extensive program-specific training, and members must commit to a specific term of service. As we continue with Who are AmeriCorps members, let's discuss member eligibility. Members must be U.S. citizens, U.S. nationals, or lawful permanent residents of the United States. At least 17 years of age, no upper age limit. High school graduates or GED recipients, or working towards this goal. They are subject to criminal history checks, and AmeriCorps programs may add program-specific requirements. Member terminology. Living allowance. The stipend an AmeriCorps member receives during a term of service. Siegel AmeriCorps Education Award is a benefit provided for completing a term of service in AmeriCorps. The member term of service or time slots, minimum and maximum living allowance is provided in the chart below. Match requirements. Applicants are required to match funds based on the chart below. The applicant's match can be federal or non-federal cash and/or in-kind contributions. Applicants must demonstrate the ability to meet the match requirements at the time of application submission. The chart below depicts AmeriCorps funding years 1 through 10 and the grantee share requirements. Application and review process. The executive summary. It will state to please fill in the blank of these sentences to complete the executive summary. Do not deviate from the template below. As we continue with the application and review process, the application expectations are as follows. A. Executive summary. B is the program design, which includes theory of change and logic model, evidence tier, evidence quality, notice priority, and member experience. C is the organizational capability, the organizational background and staffing, compliance and accountability, culture that values learning, and member supervision. D is the cost effectiveness and budget adequacy. E, evaluation plan. F, amendment justifications. G, clarification information. And H is continuation changes. Performance measures. What is a performance measure? According to CNCS, performance measures is the ongoing systematic process of tracking your program or project's outputs and outcomes. Outputs are the amount of services provided. Outputs measures services provided, products that were created, or programs that were developed. Outcomes are changes that occur for individuals, communities, organizations, or the environment, including changes in attitude or belief, knowledge or skill, behavior or condition. As we continue with the performance measures application requirement, it must include one CNCS aligned performance measure to capture the output and the outcome of the primary service activity. The performance measure must be submitted separately in a Word document, not included in e-grants. One performance measure relating to AmeriCorps member development and one performance measure relating to non-AmeriCorps member volunteer generation. Characteristics of good performance measures. Outputs and outcomes clearly identify what is counted. Each output or outcome counts only one thing. Outcomes clearly identify a change in knowledge, attitude, behavior, or condition. Outcomes clearly specify the level of improvement necessary to be counted as improved. Outcomes count individual level gains, not average gains, for the population served. Outcomes can be measured during a single grant year. Evidence-based evaluation is worth 20 points. All applicants must include a description of up to 2 research studies or evaluations in order to earn points, including the following information: the date of the research or evaluation was completed and the time period for which the intervention was examined, a description of the target population studied, the demographics, the methodology used in the study, the outcome, study random assignments, regression, discontinuity, design, or propensity score matching, a description of the data, data source, and data collection method, the outcome or impact, examine and the study findings, the strength of the findings, for example, the confidence level, statistical power of the study's design, and statistical significance of the findings. And if the program is looking to implement an evidence-based intervention, they must explain how the intervention is going to be implemented with fidelity.
The budget development section generates a budget that serves a number of different functions within an organization. The budget development must include allowing management to set financial standards and targets for the short term and developing strategic plans for the long term. In effect, the organization forecasts expected revenues and expenses, establishing the cash requirements of the organization. In the case of a startup organization or a new program, the budget helps determine startup costs and operating costs, providing financial management oversight and encouraging internal cost controls. Establishing the benchmark for an organization's evaluative processes and serves as a useful tool when reporting on external funding sources. Additionally, it helps an organization establish fundraising goals in support of program needs, planning the costs of carrying out program goals and objectives, coordinating program activities, and managing performance measures, communicating the overall objective of the program, helping to measure progress against the original program plan. Submitting your application in eGrants. New applicants need to establish an eGrants account by accessing this link below, egrants.cncs.gov, and selecting Don't Have an Account, Create an Account. In eGrants, before starting Section 1, you will need to start a new grant application, select a program area, select a NOFO. Your application consists of the following components. Make sure to complete each section. applicant info, application info, narratives, logic model, performance measures, program information, documents, budget, funding demographics, review, and finalize by authorizing and submitting. We're moving to Zoom grants. ServDC will be using Zoom grants as part of our formula grant competition application process, making our submission process more efficient and seamless. The system is easy to navigate and upload your application along with any other required documents. Please follow the link provided under the submission details. You can also find the link on ServDC's website and social media platforms. The only anticipated challenge is that Zoom Grants is not compatible with eGrants. Please reference the following instructions in the RFA and NOFO on how to submit your application via eGrants. ServDC's highest priority is ensuring that the application process is easier for all applicants, allowing the focus to be on the content, not the system. The following steps will guide you on how to submit your application through Zoom Grants. In order to submit an application, you must have a Zoom Grants account. Use the new Zoom Grants button to create your account and log in automatically. Click the Apply button next to the appropriate program in the Open Programs section to create your application. You can create additional applications later. Once you create your account, you can log in from zoomgrants.com. Working on your application, you'll start at your My Account homepage. From here, you can access all of your applications by clicking on the tabs. For incomplete applications, to continue working on an application, click on the orange application title. When you're ready to submit your application, click on the Submit Now button. If there are any fields that are incomplete, the system will display those fields in red. To verify that your application was submitted successfully, check for the submitted timestamp. You can use the refresh button at any point. When managing post-funding activities, click into the Approved section to view all of your approved applications. Depending on the funder's settings, you can submit invoices or post-funding reports, signed contracts, and much more. You can click either of these buttons to quickly create a new invoice, or navigate to the Reporting section of the application. To view the entire application and the post-funding tabs, click the orange application title. Please submit all Americorps State Formula Grant Competition application documentations by May 7, 2021 at close of business 5 p.m. to eGrants, Zoom Grants, and AmeriCorps at dc.gov. Throughout the application process, please note such activities that staff, members, and volunteers may not engage in while charging time to the AmeriCorps program, accumulating service or training hours, or otherwise performing activities supported by the AmeriCorps program or CNCS. Prohibited activities include political activity and advocacy, religious activity, benefiting for-profit entities, voter registration, and abortion services. This slide contains key and upcoming deadlines. On March 8th, the NOFO and RFA were released and made available online at serve.dc.gov. Please note by May 7th, full applications are due in eGrants and Zoom Grants by 5 p.m. By June 4th, ServeDC will submit complete full application packages to CNCS. For more information and to stay informed, please feel free to access the following resources below, including CNCS, Managing AmeriCorps Grants, Grant Terms and Conditions, GPR Resources, AmeriCorps State and National Knowledge Network. For any questions or concerns, please submit an email to americorps@dc.gov. You can also reach out to any one of us in the National Service Team, and we'll be sure to follow up shortly after. Thank you for joining us for this TA training and all applicants orientation.